we have the lovely yellow borders again. This is a set I actually forgot to open in Korean. I don't know why. We have Lost Abyss, or as Jay and I like to call Lost Abysness. So let's get into the opening. We're gonna open this a little differently because also too, if you guys remember with Scarlet and Violet era, at least up until Wild Force and Cyber Judge, we didn't have the plastic wrap. Now we're going back into it for some reason, but there's no zip tab on top. It's just a regular opening, but we're just gonna do something different this time. Let's open through the middle. Because in card shops, they actually pop it open like this. Just be extra destructive today. There you go, guys. So we have some 30 handsome packs of Lost Abysness, and we're gonna hopefully pull an SR because they are not guaranteed. I'm gonna repeat myself in every video so you guys remember. And this was the time when you guys could actually distinguish Japanese from Korean very easily because ta-da, the yellow borders are back to this. Ooh, the cards feel very different from the Scarlet Violet cards already. Ooh, they're a little bit more scratchy, rougher on the surface. We have the Lost Box cards again. My favorite Pokemon that I love to pull all the time, Pidgeon. I really hope I don't pull the SR on this. Although it'd be better than not pulling an SR, I guess. However, this set actually has a lot of really cool alt arts if you guys forgot about this already. Lost Origin, part of Lost Origin in English, along with Dark Phantasma. We have the lovely Giratina, of course, the mascot of the set. Rotom, Galarian Persiker, and Aerodactyl. Actually, those are really good alt arts to have in just one set, especially for an Asian language set. Usually those are very small and you wouldn't see that many lovely altars. Also, we have Lady SR in this, so if you guys are into that, then get this set. I also love the pack card, by the way, the colors on here. I just feel like I haven't opened this set enough. I've just opened it in Japanese, so I feel the need to explore it in other languages because that Giratina looks really beautiful in person by Shinji Kanda. We have Trevenant. Oh man, those non-hollow borders, guys. What an adjustment. And also the vertical hollow foil. Very, very different from what we have in Scarlet and Violet. Okay, because the Scarlet and Violet hollow foil doesn't even have a pattern anymore. It's just flat out hollow. Anyways, do you guys miss the vertical hollow foil, or are you okay with staying in the Scarlet and Violet era? These sets won't be as interesting, of course, as you guys can see too. There's no advertisements. This is, nearly 2 years old. So kind of an anniversary, year-and-a-half anniversary, I guess. Don't expect any art rares anymore. That's just a Scarlet and Violet thing. Some sets in Sword and Shield era, however, after Starbirth did have some of the character rares starting after VMAX Climax. So, but definitely not this set. This is just a regular set. Dark Phantasma had Radiant cards and also some of the CHR, and CSRs too. Don't forget those. I love the CSRs. The character super rares or character secret rares. My goodness, this is an adjustment after opening so many Scarlet and Violet sets. We're kind of getting deep into that era now. Going back is a weird feeling. However, I did feel this way too when, opening a bunch of Sword and Shield sets and then going back to Sun and Moon. It's like an upgrade each generation. Like if you touch these cards right now and then you touch some cards from Scarlet, this sounds really weird. You'll see what I mean. Very nice Drapion. This is one we had really nice V cards. Yes, guys, Vs. VMAXs. Oh, this is very interesting. Sometimes I like dabbling back in old sets, especially if you guys want to learn about it too. Great set to open as well. Again, Korean boxes are always the cheaper alternative versus the Japanese version. So, if you just want to open this for fun, definitely open it in Korean. Just don't expect an SR, but if it does come up, then you are very lucky. Appreciate what you can get, even if you don't pull your chase. But let's continue. We're gonna have a lot of packs with not much in it other than hollows and Vs and VMAXs. At least the VMAXs are pretty cool, because now in Scarlet and Violet we have the EXs, now we have the A-Spec cards and, etc. The little highlights, the Terra cards. I believe there's so much more variety in Scarlet and Violet that it makes the Sword and Shield era now a lot more boring than it used to be. I think we have a V-Star. Oh yeah, we don't have VMAXs, we have V-Stars after a certain point in the Sword and Shield era. Very nice Giratina. Wow, look at that texturing. As you guys can see, much thicker than the Japanese version. Very nice though. I love the colors on here. I don't think I've actually pulled this either. So very cool to get a Giratina. I do love the origin form Giratina, I won't lie. I'm guessing Pokemon tried to portray, of course, the Lost Zone TCG, but it reminds me of the Distortion World from Platinum version. But let's continue, guys. We have Porygon. Wow, I'm still not used to the yellow borders anymore, guys. Lovely Lost Zone pattern there. Actually, I keep calling it Lost Box because I keep seeing people on Twitter talk about the Lost Box method, but really it's Lost Zone. Basically, once your Pokemon is discarded into that realm, you can't get it back unless some Pokemon has some crazy ability where it can resurrect it from the discard pile. And we have Trevenant with the ugly yellow borders. You guys have the yellow borders? Is it just me? Or, I don't know. I find them memey. If anything, I kind of enjoyed them at the time, you know, when we had Sword and Shield and prior. Now that Scarlet and Violet is silver borders, it's going to be harder for people to tell the difference between Korean and Japanese or other Asian languages. But I always found it, you know, to be a unique trait of the Korean Pokemon cards. So let's continue though. So yes, the quality, of course, you know, very different from Japanese. It's really its own thing. It's very different from English too. Like you touch the surface of a Korean card. I can understand why people would think Korean cards are fake because it feels like nothing that they've probably, you know, felt before in terms of card quality with Delphox, with the Lost Zone feature, very cool. And we also have another Lost Zone item there. So this set's very Lost Zone, Lost Box friendly. Great set to go back on. Probably gonna go out of rotation though eventually in the near future because we're so deep into Scarlet and Violet. Okay, but yeah, 5 cards per pack, guys. Nothing special, nothing guaranteed per pack. You know, unlike other special sets, high class sets, and some of the unique sets we've had in the Sword and Shield era. But if I can pull something good, even if it's a Giratina full art, I'll be really happy because they're not guaranteed. And you know, when you go to older generations of Korean Pokemon sets, the chances of pulling that SR do decrease as far as I've seen. I'm talking from experience. So let's just see if we can even get it in this video. But it's really nice to revisit because I feel like also revisiting older sets, you appreciate what you have currently, meaning the Scarlet and Violet era. They definitely spoil us a lot with the art rares, the 3 art rares we get in each booster box on top of the SR and Terras. But there's just so much variety now that this set feels like, is there anything else? Other than that, Sword and Shield era was really a great one. Like I feel like when it progressed from Sword and Shield base set up until V-Star Universe, like it really drastically changed. They included alt arts, they included Radiant cards, CHRs, reintroduced from Dream League, but then CSRs and then V-Stars. Like there's so many gimmicks in Sword and Shield era that it makes it very unforgettable. I feel like when we look back 20 years from now, Sword and Shield era will be very memorable. Also the really nice alt arts. Lost Abyss was that set in Japanese that made everyone go bananas for alt arts. Like Time Gazer and Space Juggler, the Dialga, the Origin Dialga and Origin Palkia special arts weren't too expensive. Very nice Aerodactyl, by the way. They were like maybe like $50 around the time in Japanese from what I remember. And then the minute the Giratina special art by Shinji Kanda releases, it goes up to 400. And then it kept going with the feature sets, Paradigm Trigger, etc. Just alt arts were just stupidly expensive and the Hyper Pokemon was just off the charts. So I'm glad we're kind of in a lull now where we can actually buy singles for a reasonable price overall. Especially if you venture into the other languages, it becomes even cheaper. So if you're just dying for that card, you know, that special art that you couldn't get in Japanese or English, whatever, and you really just want to have the card, you don't care about the quality, you don't care about the actual language, you just want the artwork. Korean's great, honestly. You really get a good value. And also you still see the same artwork. The quality is going to be a little bit different, but if you like thick texture, this is a great language to get. All right, Lost Zone card, Drapion V-Star. I haven't seen this in quite some time. And I do like how the V-Stars, just like the VMAX cards, are nicely textured. But I'm not used to the rainbow borders anymore, the rainbow white borders, because they have a piece of Arceus attached to them. They're a lot stronger now. Hence why the V-Star started with Starbirth. So quite symbolic there. Some Arceus influence, but let's continue. Even Giratina had a little bit of Arceus power there, so that's interesting. All right, guys, so the pressure's on now because we're into our last few packs. I think maybe like 6 or 7 packs, and we still have not pulled the SR. But if we don't pull it, guys, I usually don't mind it either because at least I can prove to you guys that the SR is not guaranteed. Spectre without Calyrex. Very weird, right? Glastrier is also around too as a holo card in this set, I believe. All right, Porygon 2 with a 2, they just put it there. Think like in English too. All right, Sunkern, Ninetales, very nice artwork of Ninetales. Seadra, Dracloak, right before Dragapult. The Korean name, I believe, of Dragapult is Doraparuto, so very similar. Oh, okay, wow. All right, and if you guys remember too from the Sword and Shield era, we still had these lovely cards. Hyper Rare, wow, okay, we got a Hyper Rare Kyurem. Check out that texture. At least you got a SR, and you know that it's, or higher. This is technically an HR, hyper rare. Number 117 out of 100. Hey, at least I got something. And it's a legendary Pokemon, Kyurem. A lot of people actually like Kyurem, that now that Pokemon Day came around, I noticed there were a lot of people hoping for a Legends Kyurem, Gen 5 fans, Unova fans. But yeah, we have Kyurem there in this set randomly. The VMAX is really pretty. Yeah, so we have both VMAXs and V-Stars in this set. But yeah, there you go. The pressure's off. It's not the one that I wanted, but at least we got something, right? And I actually don't have that card yet. The texture almost looks like it's going through a blizzard, which makes sense. It's a Dragon Ice type. It's a very fierce Pokemon. Can bond with Reshiram and Zekrom. We have the DNA Splicer. But maybe we'll see another black and white featured game in the future. People love the storyline. All right, another Lost Zone Pokemon, Barbaracle. And on to our last pack. Again, guys, don't expect too much from Sword and Shield era sets, especially if you just started collecting Pokemon cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. It's not going to feel as satisfying, but at least if you can get that SR, some of the cards that you want, it's a little fun still. And to our last card, it's going to be Banette with the Lost Zone feature. So thank you guys so much for watching. Nice walk down memory lane. If you guys want to check out my web store, KrystalKollectz.com, I do have a lot of cards in different languages, and you can also get my trainer card there. So stay safe, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.